Hello, CSI Golden Eagles, and welcome to the 37th episode of the Knowledge Nest. This is Reed Hepter with the CSI Library. This week we're going to talk about the role of librarians in education. However, we're going to start off by having the CSI Library newsletter for October 2023. This was released last week a little after my podcast episode, but I decided to feature it on this episode because most of these things, or all of them really, have not happened yet. The book arts exhibit has gone up right now, but on October 10th, which is today, we're going to have our actual exhibit. We're going to have a reception. The exhibit will be up throughout October. It was a very wonderful experience seeing it set up. I was here when it was being put up, and I got to learn about the origins of these displays and this artwork, and I encourage you to all come and see what they are and what their titles are and who made them, and learn more during the reception. We have a new graphic novel section. We're just displaying our graphic novels in an isolated collection or a separate collection, much like our Spanish language collection. We're going to have signs put up for those in the eventual future, but right now, ask us and we can direct you to where the graphic novels are. We have a murder mystery coming up again on the 23rd to the 27th of October, a Halloween-y murder mystery. Our fall reading challenge, speaking of mysteries, is to read a murder mystery. So please email Allie about that, and we will let you know how to participate. And remember to tag us in your social media posts or whatever you use to communicate about your reading. As always, if you look at the October newsletter or any newsletter, you can click on book covers and the underlined links, such as right here, for information about things. On the 12th, which is on Thursday from 2 to 4, we have Loteria in the library as part of the Hispanic Heritage Month. Please come and participate in that. Current staff reads. Allie is reading She Started It. It's a kind of a mystery thriller thing. Twin Falls is reading about dams and irrigation in the Twin Falls area. Ross is reading that book. Wicked is a book that I'm reading. It's a very interesting book. I like the musical more than the book, but the book is always good to read. And Reba is reading An Uncommon History of Common Things. And so that's really interesting. I remember reading another book, a similar book called How We Got to Now, about how ice and cold and heat and light were invented and how those progressions changed history. So that was really interesting. That was really cool. So I would encourage you to read this book. This seems kind of like a similar vein. And speaking of dams and irrigation, Dr. Jim Gentry has recently published a book called 51 tunnels, or at least it's about the 51 tunnels that were dug in Magic Valley for various purposes. And so please read those. I believe it's relatively cheap, and I think we have a copy, and I think that the Twin Falls Public Library also has a copy, so please look into that. A database spotlight for this month is Chilton, which is a library of automobile repair guides. I have used it sparingly. I haven't had to use it a ton, but I know that my brother-in-law uses Chilton, and a lot of other people use Chilton, and they've expanded from simple videos and manuals from images and manuals to videos and animations and diagrams and simulations. And they also have access to troubleshooting and maintenance people who can help you with questions that you have. The book club this month is going to read Magic Lessons by Alice Hoffman. And so we're going to read the Goodreads synopsis of that book. In an unforgettable novel that traces a centuries-old curse to its source, beloved author Alice Hoffman unveils the story of Maria Owens, accused of witchcraft in Salem and matriarch of a line of the amazing Owens women and men featured in Practical Magic and the Rules of Magic. So this is a prequel. Where does the story of the Owens bloodline begin? With Maria Owens in the 1600s when she's abandoned in a snowy field in rural England as a baby. Under the care of Hannah Owens, Maria learns about the nameless arts. Hannah recognizes that Maria has a gift, and she teaches the girl all she knows. It is here that she learns her first important lesson: always love someone who will love you back. When Maria is abandoned by the man who has declared his love for her, she follows him to Salem, Massachusetts. Here she invokes a curse that will haunt her family, and it's here that she learns the rules of magic and the lessons she will carry with her for the rest of her life. Love is the only thing that matters. Magic Lessons is a celebration of life and love and a showcase of Alice Hoffman's masterful storytelling. And so this is an interesting thing, because when I read the abridged synopsis, I was thinking it was going to explore more of the religious aspect of Salem and the magic, and how those religions and cultures clashed with each other. But it seems to be more like a romance magic, kind of a realism relationship type book, which will be interesting. So I encourage you to read that. I know it's available through ILL here, and we have multiple libraries in the area, including us, who have copies of it. Now we're going to discuss librarians and education, and specifically technological literacy. And so let's talk first about the Magdeburg unicorn. So what is the Magdeburg unicorn? So this is a woolly rhinoceros fossil fossilized skeleton that was discovered in Germany in the 17th century. And a priest found it, and he labeled it a unicorn, and he went and brought it back, and it was reconstructed as the Magdeburg unicorn, one of the worst fossil reconstructions in human history. And I used this over last week to display the dangers of putting something in AI, an AI generator, and using it wholesale without fact-checking or without quality controlling it. And when I put this image in PowerPoint to put it in the slide, actually the AI-driven alt-text generator stated that it was a skeleton of a dinosaur. However, this just displays in multiple ways that you cannot trust everything that AI tells you. But also, I realized it was not just a display of using something that AI creates, but it's also acting on incomplete information. And so this picture and story actually has a wider reach and a broader application than I originally intended. And so how can we help you educate yourself and act on the complete picture? Well, as far as technological advancements, and this is something that is applicable, these skills and these ideas, to any type of literacy. Constructive use of technology is necessary for advancement in any field, in any stage of life. If people are not open to new methods and workflows, they'll be left behind when selected technologies are implemented throughout their field or throughout life in general. This may include using technologies in secondary uses to an extent. For example, Wikipedia used to be banned from the classroom, and in some ways it still is. But now educators have encouraged students to use Wikipedia as a source reader. In other words, don't cite Wikipedia, but go to its sources and find out what sources it has. And I would argue go a step further and see what sources those sources have until you get to the original or the primary secondary source, the first secondary source that examines a primary source, whatever you're looking at. By looking at Wikipedia sources, students can view some inspiration for their own materials, and they can also know what sources are not appropriate. On the same token, if libraries encourage ethical and effective use of technology, students and patrons will not use the tools for inappropriate and effortless tasks. And this also is related to any type of education. We are here to ensure that you are navigating sources and using sources in a correct way, and also looking at the correct types of sources and using educational technologies outside of AI in the correct way. That you are creating videos of high quality, that you're creating videos that are accurate, that you are using the best practices of various technologies, audio recordings, all sorts of things, text producers, word processors. Microsoft Word is an educational technology, Canvas. And so we are here to help you. And the TLC is here to help faculty members to use technology in their education. We are here to help you as students use it in your educational endeavors as well. And so librarians, what our goal is in terms of education is to serve you, is to help you use technology and resources to further your education. We are not here to teach you, but we're here to help you further your own efforts and fulfill what your educators expect of you, but also expand your learning past that if you want to. And we're also here, of course, as evidenced by the book club, to help you have a good time and help you improve your mental health and help you have fun here at college and expand your mind and expand your hobbies as well, because a well-rounded person can learn much quicker than a person who is set in their ways and someone who doesn't have many interests. And I know that from personal experience. And so all types of education and resources can be available through the library and through librarians in particular. And so we are always here to help you with anything you need. Please check the resource directory on LibGuides, and please check the guide to research for your research and student success needs, including career success and physical, mental, hygiene, well-being, wellness, etc., as well as financial tips as well. And the college has other resources that can help you in those areas too, but we have a wide range of resources available to you from all corners of campus. Also, please check the QR codes on the Need Help page that the college has put up around campus. Very helpful resources on there. And so I guess the message is that not only librarians, but everyone here on campus is here to help you in any way possible. So don't be afraid to reach out to us, and have a wonderful week. And I will see you next week here on The Knowledge Nest.